Okay. I'm here. Sorry for the delay there, guys. Getting us started. Was a bit distracted right before going live. Felt motivated to go on a Ridley Scott rant. That I'm not going to go into here because we already said it. Hi, Mark. And hi, whoever else is with us. Who else is with us? Hello, Billy. So we're drawing Beetlejuice today. And the reason's probably pretty obvious. I drew Beetlejuice once before on the stream. It was actually, I think, maybe the first year that I was streaming, in fact. So those of you that are stream veterans might have even recognized the ad. I reused the same ad from way back when. The last time I drew Beetlejuice as a big game hunter, having taken down a sandworm. And tonight we're doing Beetlejuice with Lydia. So let's get to it. Excited to do this one. I like that one I did before quite a bit, but it was like I made up my own outfit for him and stuff, so it wasn't like classic Beetlejuice necessarily. So to do him again, and with Lydia as well, is kind of fun. I'm excited for it. What can I say? We're leaning mostly towards the original movie, but might show a little bit of inspiration from the cartoon as well. I think I've drawn a little bit bigger than I want for what my intentions are here. What are we up to tonight, guys? Are we just chilling and watching me erase the start of a Beetlejuice drawing, or are we up to anything else? Mark is chilling. Sounds good. Chilling is an underrated activity, if you ask me. I'm gonna go a little bit smaller than the last one, but maybe not too much smaller. Same. You know what is really satisfying about doing a stream based on a classic movie like Beetlejuice, and a classic quotable movie like Beetlejuice, is when I was looking for GIFs to post, there were plenty available, and I could do a different one on every social media, which I'm not always able to do. I found two poses that I liked, one for each. I Photoshop them together. So we're kind of trying to get the basic pose down here. And then we'll start detailing to make them look more like the characters in question, of course. Hey, Amanda. Do we have... Well, first of all, are we excited for the new Beetlejuice, guys? I'm excited. Probably my number 2 most anticipated movie for the year. Behind number 1 was Deadpool. Beetlejuice would be number 2, I think. Okay. I was skeptical when they announced it, but the trailers and everything I've been hearing about it have turned me around. And the reception, the early buzz has been mostly positive. I've only heard positive. I've heard from some say that there are some more wishy-washy ones floating out there, but I've only heard positive so far. I like they brought everybody back. I like that they're doing practical effects. I think they are going to address that. There is a quick shot in the trailer where you see him with his head shrunk. So whether or not it's going to start that exactly the way you're describing there, Mark, who knows? But I have a feeling it is going to be addressed at least. Which I'm also happy about, because that was one thing when they announced it, I was like, I wonder if they'll comment or they're just going to like kind of ignore it and hope it goes away. And if they do, it's not like it's going to ruin the movie for me, but I think it would be cool to comment on it. Follow-up question: do we have a favorite Beetlejuice moment? I'm trying to decide if I want to tilt his head a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna tilt his head a little bit more. I'm actually tempted to go back and color that previous Beetlejuice drawing. Well, actually, I definitely will do it. Which is whether or not I do it soon is the question. Probably not. A little distracted with some fairies maybe you've heard of. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. About the stop motion. The dinner scene probably is the one I remember the best. With the Deo. Okay, now is this head too straight now? Maybe not. I think I can make this work. Cartoon versus real team. The struggle is real. actually, I was going to have tungsten. It's not, and also I'm not sure that's really the best way to call it. Call the person. Just putting that out there. And we can be a little more respectful, probably, of that particular Beetlejuice. Mark, you never gave your favorite Beetlejuice moment. Come on. Pencil trouble. Oh, there we go. That took a minute. Exactly, Amanda. I called them out and no response. Yeah, she looks a little too smiley. She doesn't look depressed enough for Lydia. Amanda, what's your favorite Beetlejuice moment? Like at the end, you mean? And he goes wild on everybody? When Lydia finally says his name 3 times, and the lightning cracks, and he does his "It's showtime." Probably my favorite moment as well. Top tier score by Danny Elfman as well. Mustn't forget Danny. Uh, well, I asked Fallout. You mean like at the, I went through a lot of. Do you mean at the? Do you mean at the end? Um, when Lydia releases him and he does the whole "It's showtime" thing. Attention, Kmart shoppers. Nice. Yeah, yeah. And I was saying that that is also probably my favorite Beetlejuice moment. And that is why I won't do more than 2 shows a night anymore. I won't do it. Kind of messing with this, kind of doing my own thing with it. So I'm gonna actually. Something like that. There we go, I like that. Anybody watch the Beetlejuice cartoon when they were a kid? I don't know where, but apparently somewhere streaming it for free, probably on YouTube, I guess, leading up to the movie. The intro for the cartoon was really cool. Buttoning his cufflinks. Well, that wouldn't be for free though. You gotta pay for Crave. Apparently somewhere's got it for free, but I don't know. Maybe not even available in Canada. Whoever it is. Did you ever watch it, Billy? One of the better movie to cartoon adaptations, I would say. I'm pretty sure Tim Burton was actually like involved. Probably not too creatively involved, but I'm pretty sure he had a producer credit on it, which is more than most of those types of cartoons tend to have. I think we're ready to ink. Commence ink mode. I'm betting Mark watched the cartoon. Did you watch the Beetlejuice cartoon, Mark? The weird thing with the cartoon is that Beetlejuice and Lydia are like best friends in that version, which is very much not the vibe in the movie. But it did make for a good dynamic. Basically, Beetlejuice in that version, in the cartoon, is like creepy, but he's not necessarily an asshole. Well, they're good. I heard on something recently, maybe this will be some research if you're interested, Billy, that there was actually more than one Beetlejuice cartoon happening concurrently. But I have suspicions that that person was mistaken. Lydia had a whole chant in that when she called up Beetlejuice. She wouldn't just say his name 3 times. She was like, though I know I should be wary, ghostly haunting someplace scary. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Oh, there might be another line before she starts saying that. I can't remember. The outfit that I'm putting Lydia in here is inspired by the outfit from the cartoon, but modernized and adulted up a little bit because she's an adult now. Because it was kind of like a smock in the original one. One TV show and a guest star episode in Teen Titans Go several games. One TV show and a guest star episode in Teen Titans Go several games and a stage musical. So Beetlejuice appeared in Teen Titans Go and several games. What games did he appear in? Like, were they Beetlejuice video games? I don't remember that. I'm learning so much, Billy. Oh, wow. I guess it makes sense they would have had SNES games and stuff for it, but still. Adventures of Beetlejuice, Skeletons in the Closet for MS-DOS. Wow. DOS game deals for Lego Dimensions. A fighter in Multiverse. Wow, I would love to play as Beetlejuice in a fighting game. Well, thank you as always for your diligent research, Billy. What was the context of the Teen Titans episode he appeared in? Jesus Christ. Guy gets around, hey? That's how far over I got this. Something I'm actually really curious to read at some point, if I can ever find it, is the script for Beetlejuice. Because apparently the original, like not the shooting script, but the original script. Because apparently it was originally supposed to actually be a legitimate horror movie. Until Tim Burton got involved and he recognized the comedic potential and they had it changed up a lot. And so Beetlejuice was a lot more demonic in that one. I think he had a human form, but his like natural form, I think, was apparently just like some sort of like bat creature or something like that. And his intentions with Lydia were much more gross and aggressive, and yeah, I'm just the fact that that's what it evolved out of, I find really interesting. So I'm really kind of curious. Oh wow! And when he shows up, does he look like he did in the original cartoon, or is it kind of a new Teen Titan version of him? It's different from the show, kinda. It's in the same style. Okay. But presumably his attitude's a bit closer to the show if he's helping him out. Or does he run amok and they have to deal with him after? My whole life is a dark room. One big, dark room. One thing with the new movie, I was disappointed in the poster. I'm disappointed in most movie posters these days. The poster is like a clear homage to the original Beetlejuice poster, which makes sense, but it's a Photoshop job instead of a painting, and that's annoying. I don't care for that myself. The original poster is classic, and it's one that I'd like to get for my place at some point. made that hand too small. Definitely made that hand too small. So the only plot summary I can find stops at a point you can't, so can't tell you what he does, but he is the one who kidnaps the Halloween spirit, also kills the team to allow them to go into the Netherrealm. Okay. Well, that's dark and fun. Hey, Pran. Bat you drawing today? What? Are you asking what I'm drawing? I'm drawing Beetlejuice. Have you seen Beetlejuice? Hey, Avery. Are you excited for the new Beetlejuice, Avery? Alright. Have a good night, Mark. Well, that's pretty cool. I feel like Warner Brothers owes me some money then in that case. Just saying. Send me an email, Warner Brothers. I'll tell you where to send the check. Well, if you've never seen the original, it makes sense that you wouldn't be excited for the new one. I would recommend the original. Well, the original is great. Do you like Halloween-y kind of stuff? It's not set at Halloween or anything, but it's very much Halloween vibes. So much so that it's a little weird they're putting it out when they are now. I don't know if it's competition in October that they're trying to avoid or what, but... Yeah, if you like Halloween-y stuff, definitely watch Beetlejuice. But I will say, don't let the title of the movie or this drawing fool you. Beetlejuice is not a good guy. You'll enjoy seeing him on screen, but you would not like him in real life. But there was a cartoon in the 90s where they made him a more of a likable person by real world standards, and he's best friends with the lead girl from the movie in that version, but the movie is very different from that dynamic. So I'm kind of doing a hybrid thing here that is sort of taking inspiration from the original movie and the cartoon. With a bit of my own stuff thrown in there. Sounds good. Try to watch the original first if you can, though. Yeah, he's gross. He's gross and arguably annoying in the show, but he's ultimately a nice enough guy in the show. The movie, I would argue, is essentially the villain, though. There was a cartoon based on the movie. Don't need to watch the cartoon. Cartoon was fun, but no, that would not be required viewing for the movie. I've never seen the musical. I think I've heard good things though. Finally watched The Greatest Showman on watched it last night with Amanda. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Well, I don't know. I mean, I drew her, so they're all in my style, but I wouldn't really. I don't think she actually looks like any of the fairies besides that, personally. Although, she's got kind of a punk goth thing going on here, and the fairies are definitely very punk. So I'll give you that one, Pran. And if I'm being honest, the punk vibes here are pretty much my own addition. The movie, she's only goth. In the cartoon, she's goth, but she's got a big red spider web smock, so poncho, I guess you'd call it. So I took that idea and ran with it as a shirt. She's only 14 in the original movie and the cartoon. So we're going adult Lydia for this drawing. She's an adult in the new one, and she's going to be this chummy with the more movie accurate Beetlejuice. I prefer her to be an adult, quite frankly. Well, that in my style. I mean, naturally, there's gonna. So, if you like the original one, Pran, are you excited for the new one? I'm not 100% sure. I'm assuming she's Lydia's daughter, but I could be wrong. You didn't know there was a new one coming, Fran? Yeah, it comes out on Friday. Oh, I thought you said it was a nice movie. I thought you'd already seen it. So never heard of Beetlejuice. Okay. For the time being, Billy, I'm back to 2 nights a week. I last term I couldn't do it because I was teaching a class on Thursday nights, and that class unfortunately is not running this term because there was low enrollment. But the silver lining of that is that I'm able to stream a little bit more again until the next term starts, when hopefully I'll have that class again. Wednesday nights, historically, I've had mentor sessions, but this term, those mentor sessions are are in the afternoon now. They used to always need to be at night to accommodate our 3D mentor, but our current mentor has a bit more flexibility that way. So, assuming that doesn't change, then next term I'll still be able to do an extra stream a week, but it'll probably need to be on Wednesdays instead. That is my thinking anyway. So for at least the next month and a half, 2 months, I will likely be streaming most every Thursdays as well. I've read the Crow comic. I like it a lot. I kind of agree with you on the art. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't know exactly what your issue with the art is. But yeah, I don't necessarily love the art, or at least first glance. It grew on me the more I read it. The comic is actually really sad. It's obviously the same basic plot of the movie, or the original movie anyway. But there's a lot more time spent on how much he loved his wife and how much he misses her. And also, the comic was actually inspired by James O'Barr, that wrote and drew it. His girlfriend in college was killed by a drunk driver, and so he actually made that comic as his coping mechanism to get through it. And so I think he was actually a fairly new artist, all things considered. Which is also, if you read it, you'll see his art actually kind of improving and getting a little bit more refined and cleaner as it goes, and has his anatomy starts to get a little bit more consistent and stuff. But when you know that about where it came from, and then you have all of these allusions to his lost love and everything like that, it's actually it's a little tough, honestly. And the comic also, I don't think they show you anything too graphic, but they kind of talk about the death a lot more, and just how violent it actually was and stuff, and it gets into a lot more specifics of things that just make it that much more heartbreaking. It's tough, yeah. It's a tough one. Yeah. It is good though. Like I do think it's a good comic overall. But yeah. I think I've heard of that. I only laugh, by the way, because of the name of the thing. Oops. That's a clever name. Hey Blake, how are we doing? You excited for the new Beetlejuice? You a fan of the original? It just did the thing again. It just jumped into their stream again. Weird. Do you like Tim Burton in general, Avery? Cool. Yeah, original is one of my faves for sure. Watched it a lot growing up. Watched it a lot with my mom in particular. Although both parents were fans. I've always been into really like comedic dark shit, like dark humor and macabre stuff, and I think that all originated with Beetlejuice and the cartoon as well. Okay, well then eerie, I mean, is definitely a thing in Beetlejuice, but it's like fun eerie for the most part, so you might be okay with it. I think that's why it's such a good movie for Halloween, is because it's like fun scary, you know, because that's kind of what Halloween is. It's supposed to be spooky, but it's also supposed to be fun as well. My favorite time of year, as a matter of fact. Yes. How are you? Oh, do I do Halloween? I thought, do I like Halloween costumes? As long as I have an event to go to. I mean, my favorite thing to do on Halloween, honestly, is just watching horror movies, like on the actual night. It's like my favorite. But if there is an occasion to go to, then yes. Hey, Shirley. I have a couple friends that tend to throw a Halloween party most years, or some sort of Halloween event, like they'll plan something or whatever. So last year they didn't do a party, but we went to Fright Nights in Vancouver. It's Playland, which is or sorry, not Fright Nights. I was talking about Fright Nights recently. That's what I was saying. Went to the Rec Room in Burnaby here, which is an arcade that was doing a Halloween party. So we went. Me and Amanda went as Lois and Clark, Superman and Lois Lane. And then coincidentally, friends Cam and Lori were Joker and Harley Quinn. Parker, who comes in the stream sometimes, was there as Riddler. So there was a lot of DC characters that night, coincidentally. And we were actually talking about doing Beetlejuice and Lydia this year, but the plans look like they might not involve costumes this year. Do you have a favorite Halloween costume from when you were a kid, or whenever the last time is that you did a costume? Maybe. I think my favorite one as a kid. I was Superman as a kid. My mom likes to sew, so she made some cool costumes for me. So it was Ghostbusters. I was Superman. Probably the Superman would be the favorite one. When I was Superman, I was only 5, and my mom made me a Clark Kent costume, a breakaway Clark Kent costume, and so I showed up to kindergarten dressed as Clark Kent, and then I went in the cloakroom, and then came out dressed as Superman. And I would argue that was pretty fucking cool. Just saying. First Halloween costume I made for myself was a zombie. Where he's got some chains and some old clothes and doused them in fake blood. And that was just exciting to be making my own one, my own costume. I was Frankenstein for a couple of years. I was a Power Ranger for a couple of years. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Have you had the chance to ever dress up as an adult? Or are all your Halloween costume memories as a kid? But it's an 8,000 year or 800 year, or no, yeah, 8,000 year elf that that doesn't age. So. My first costume was I was supposed to be a clown. I was like 5 years old, or no, probably younger than that, probably only 2 or 3, because by the time I was 5, I was Superman. And I would not let my mom put the makeup on. So she got as far as the white makeup, but she couldn't get me to sit still enough to do anything else. So they pivoted and put me in a cowboy costume. So I was a white-faced cowboy, which I prefer to think of as a undead cowboy in hindsight. But there's a video out there somewhere of me on a plastic rocking horse, like one of the ones on the Springs, dressed as a cowboy, and just chanting, "Cowboy, cowboy." Well, hopefully one day you'll get to do another cool Halloween costume, maybe. Oh, like is it the one that she's wearing at the end when he's being all kind of hypnotizing with her? With the big puffy white sleeves and stuff. Cool. Well, bonus points for the Labyrinth reference, by the way. More people need to see and appreciate Labyrinth. Yeah. That can be a thing. But my philosophy is as long as you're happy with the costume and excited to be in it, who gives a shit? Fuck the haters. Or the clueless. But don't talk about Halloween. Okay, who among us has seen The Warriors? One Halloween. So The Warrior. Okay, actually, wait, it goes back. So The Warriors is, for anybody who doesn't know, a movie from the late 70s about gangs in New York. And for very comic. It's not based on I think it's based on a novel, but visually it's very comic book inspired. And all the gangs in it are really quirky and have these just interesting outfits and stuff. And there's one of the gangs is called the Baseball Furies, and they wear baseball uniforms, but then also have like face paint. And a few years ago at Halloween, I saw a girl that was probably like 12 at most, but probably not even that old, dressed as a baseball fury. And I wanted to find her parents and give them a big hug. I was so impressed with that. So you can just get one person that knows the reference, it's worth it. And if you can't, then you just enjoy yourself. But I do agree it's a little bit more satisfying when someone knows. The first year I was a Power Ranger, almost nobody knew who the hell I was. I mean, in fairness, it was a homemade costume. Didn't look a ton like the actual TV show. Because like the suit was pretty good, but the helmet and everything didn't necessarily nail it. My mom made the suit. Although even the suit, I gave my mom completely the wrong. It was entirely my fault. But I kind of drew what the pattern on it was supposed to look like, and then based on the show, but from memory, and I fucked it up. So it actually was a very well made suit that just didn't actually have the right pattern on it, but again, that was me. But the show was so new, because it had only started that fall, that nobody knew, other than some other kids, like my friends and stuff, knew who the hell I was supposed to be. Exactly. I'm getting mildly tempted to try to color this in time for the movie's release. So I'm amped for the movie. Pretty happy with how this drawing is looking. But I got the dueling voices in my head. No, finish the comic. I don't know how likely that is, Charlene. I would love to. I'd love to come see you at your table and stuff. I have a couple things happening on Saturday, so it might be kind of a tall order. But everybody else that is in Vancouver and is free on Saturday should totally go to Summerfest and check out all of Charlene's awesome artwork. This will only be your second table ever, right, Charlene? But keep me posted on future ones, though. I'm sure I'll be able to get out to one eventually. Do you have a third one on the docket? Cool. Maybe we'll even table at the same event sometime. The only one for next year I'm already signed up for is Fan Expo, but I'm definitely hoping to get in. I've found out about a few that happened this year that I wasn't aware of that I want to try for next year. Specifically for my comics, there's one that's actually all about art books, which seems like it would be very appropriate to sell some books at, or at least attempt to sell some books at. And then another one that I want to try for that, and hopefully some others maybe too. Oh, really? Where's the Halloween one? I'm scheduled for 2 more this year. I'm going to be at the New West Comic Fest on Saturday or September 28th, and then I'm going to be at the Vancouver Comic and Toy Show in late October, but I forget what the actual day is. How dare I? Sleep party didn't miss. I just changed my mind on how I wanted to get. But I did miss this part of our fishnets. Are they fishnets when they're on an arm? I don't actually know. I assume so. They're not stockings, obviously, but they're still fishnets, right? I did a Labyrinth stream a few years ago, by the way, Avery. I didn't draw Jennifer Connelly's character, though. But I drew the Goblin King and several goblins.
Yeah, maybe I'm due for another Labyrinth one. Back to their comment, Avery, about people not getting who you are. I, for Halloween one year, went as Simon Pegg's character from the movie World's End. I was pretty happy with the costume. I got it was fairly screen accurate costume, and nobody got it, including the friend who was throwing the party, and I knew for a fact was a fan of the movie. Oh yeah, I Crimson Peak got a lot of flack when it came out. I don't remember loving it, but I don't remember being that bad though either. That was another thing I missed. I remember like the imagery being the standout though. Like the story was a little slow, but it wasn't bad. It was kind of deep cut horror movie references, but thank you, Charlene. But there was a British studio that made a lot of horror movies in the 50s through the 70s called Hammer. And I think that they were the main influence for Crimson Peak. And as a movie nerd, recognizing that, I think gave me an added appreciation for it. Also, on the stripe comment, Charlene, I find inking stripes extremely satisfying. I can see why Tim Burton incorporates them in so much of his imagery. Funny thing with Beetlejuice's stripes is, in the movie, he's wearing a different outfit in every scene. So the stripes just happens to be one of those outfits, but it's the one that they used, and it only appears in one scene, but it happens to be the one they used in the promotions and stuff, and then it became the costume that he wore in the cartoon adaptation, and now he's just like, that's just Beetlejuice's thing, but he doesn't actually have a ton of screen time in that original movie, so the stripes are seen relatively briefly, all things considered. Although it is probably his most memorable scene for sure. It's when he runs amok that he's wearing the stripes. And that's when they let him out. Thank you, Charlene. I know, right? That was exactly my thought. I was actually very annoyed when he didn't get it. If you're watching, Brad, we're talking about you. You have not yet lived this one down. I still show Charlene's comic as an example to the comic class, by the way, which was all hand inked and still gets whoa reactions when I put it up on the screen. Good work, Charlene. Was the oh god no to me sharing the comic, or was that something I said before and I wasn't paying enough attention? Okay, we're going to finish off her hair with the brush so we can do some feathery highlights. So there's nothing a goth kid likes more than feathery highlights. No. See, I knew you were going to say that. Everyone always says that. Very well done. Also, it's crazy that it was 7 years ago, by the way. That does not fully compute. Actually, if Blake and Pran are still with us, do you remember Charlene's comic? The one that was all hand inked, had the girl among all the flowers walking with a flowy dress. Yeah, it's nuts. Pretty close to Dunzo here, guys. I'm fairly happy with how this is turning out, even if one of Lydia's hands is a little small.
Okay. Let's sign it. And we'll call it a night. There is Beetlejuice and Lydia. As usual, everybody, thanks for watching, and have a good night, and I'll catch you next time. I'll give somebody a raid really quick. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Avery. I'll be back on Thursday for another one. Thank you, Charlene. So yeah, catch you next time. Have a good night, everybody. Let's find somebody to raid. Let's raid Jason. Jason has sculpted Beetlejuice before, so I think he'll appreciate what we got going on here. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raid.